Lola Young is the newest pop music industry plant, and if you don't have a TikTok, I'll just tell you she had an extremely viral song on TikTok that got millions of streams called Messy. It's like, I'm too messy and I'm too effing clean. And it's about her having ADHD and being quirky and crazy and unpredictable. And she has a new song called One Thing, which people are saying is going to be her espresso, the song of the summer, like Sabrina Carpenter's last year. And I am not convinced, not at all. So I think we should play this clip of the song so you can get a sense for her sound.
Rip the monetization on this segment.
Yes. All right.
I want to take you on a little ride. I want to make you
I
feel
saw
so
this.
nice.
Lily Allen already did this, like 20 years ago.
Wanna make
Yeah.
you feel appreciated when you're deep up in me, when you're deep up inside. I wanna show you just what I like. I wanna kiss you slow, wanna fuck you off, I wanna eat you up, I wanna cook you lunch, I wanna love you, babe. You know where I wanna be. I want you right under me. Can you just live a little let you down? I'm screaming for you, I can't breathe. Turn the light off, I'm wet the sheets.
We're already doing cream?
I
thought that was
This is early
later in the
cringe.
show.
break your bed and then the sofa. I wanna pull you close. Everybody wants
Really
to know
uninspired.
it, but me, I only want
Okay.
So the whole point of the song is that she only wants one thing, and that is a casual hookup, which is so daring, right? To promote that in pop music. I've never heard a song about casual sex before. The hook is okay.
No, all of that is uninspired slop garbage.
It's
Movies can be
basically
slop.
like-
Music should not be slop.
It's
Derivative of Lily Allen's slop.
Yes.
That is extremely vulgar, and she's also not attractive, which is a
No.
huge reason people don't like her.
Well, the thing is
Yeah.
like
And why
as-
she is the not...
correctly don't like her.
She is not the next Sabrina Carpenter, clearly.
as I said to you yesterday, there is a certain type of privilege in Hollywood where men can be fat and famous because they're funny. Women are the only ones who are like force you to believe that they can be sexual and fat and famous when that's not really how the world
Well,
works.
they can be because there are desperate guys that'll do that stuff.
Fair
I
enough.
mean, I'm guessing most of her fan base so far is females who identify as queer bodies or something
Okay.
and have neo-pronouns. But here were some of the interpretations of her work. There's something so asexual about left-coded degeneracy.
I saw that tweet and
It's-
I retweeted it, and I thought it was
Yes.
perfect.
It's HR approved, free from danger, maximally inclusive, corporate Memphis-like. It's juvenile, comedically gross, full of play pretend power dynamics, childishly rebellious against some real or imagined Christian father. And that, if you look at the music video for One Thing, there are scenes that are comedically gross or sexualized that don't really land. In her music video for Messy, she's just standing next to this giant birthday cake and she starts throwing pieces of cake at the wall like, oh, it's because she's messy, right? Like really deep treatment
So
there.
this is the chick that did the Messy video too?
Yes.
God.
Yes.
I mean, it's
So-
in the same. It's the same type of comical, figurative art that comes when they talk about punching Nazis. Like they don't have an actual understanding of violence or any type of interaction between other people, so they have this idea in their head of what it's like. So much in the same way that they don't understand anger in the real world, they don't understand actual relationships with other people in the real world.
Another one said that Lola Young song is the final boss of this terrible Taylor Swift boy genius school of songwriting where you just kind of artlessly rattle off your faults. Oh, and then I got drunk and cheated and I have anxiety and a pooey bum. Get up off the floor and write a song. That's kind of the entire point. It's like, I'm fat and ugly and covered in piercings and hate me, world. I hate myself and I want you to hate me just as much as I hate myself.
Well, it probably.
And I'm so relatable because of my flaws, but I'm also perfect and I'm a queen.
It's the same thing I always say, that this is music made for women to listen to while driving. That they can
Yes.
sing out loud and think that they're speaking some type of anthem into the world.
A lot of people, when Messy came out, really felt that the song spoke to them because they have undiagnosed ADHD, which prompted Lola Young to go to her TikTok account and encourage her followers to get a diagnosis of ADHD and start a medication. Because it's really transformed her life. She's no longer messy. She is a clean girl.
I would highly recommend getting a diagnosis. I'm on meds for
the
my
nails are
ADHD.
crazy.
Hate it.
6 months ago,
Hate
I
it.
started Concerta.
Already hate
And
it.
this medication has genuinely changed my life. It's changed my thought processing so much clearer, made it so much clearer. It's changed, like, just, I can see mess
With the
now, I can
medication,
clean things
Adderall?
up, I can think,
Yeah, it's like
streamline,
Adderall.
like more fluid. And I just feel so much, generally a lot happier. Of course, but, well, especially if you live in the UK, then the healthcare is free and the NHS is. I do feel that there's a slight over in certain aspects, an over glamorization of like people, just everyone jumping on the bandwagon thinking they're ADHD. But I do think it's part of breaking down the stigma and making sure people are open and talking about it. I think it's so important that we're aware of our brain and what's going on in our brain. And everything's just a spectrum, right? Psychiatrists will go through and make little, labels, which is fine, but also this is all just a spectrum. My experience has been incredible. I would highly recommend. If you're against medication, then obviously even just getting a diagnosis helps you understand. But I would also highly recommend the medication I'm on, which is Concerta. I think it's super important to break down the stigma surrounding medication, because if you had a heart condition, you may take something, and we should just make sure that physical health and mental health is viewed on par, I believe. And I make music and I'm an artist, and medication has really helped my creativity. On a side note, music coming out soon.
So she's aiming to break down the stigma around getting medicated for your ADHD. And she seems to have hit back on the glamorization of ADHD among Gen Z. I'm not really buying that argument because her own song basically glamorized it for them. And one of the comments from her fan said, "What if I lose my sparkle?" So, ADHD is a superpower.
Artists have been doing uppers to make music for as long as music has existed, I'm sure, right? Same with people who write scripts for movies and stuff like that. These things have been heavily glamorized, and it would be hypocritical of me to criticize the taking of them, because I took them for years before I got sober, so whatever. But seeing people, like, there's something about it to me that says that you should feel more insular with your own mental health and you should keep it to yourself.
Yes.
And especially, like, if you want to talk, not the mental health aspect, but the medication aspect. Keep that to yourself.
Yeah, there was a trend actually on TikTok a couple of years back where it was #PostYourPill. And you were supposed to destigmatize psychiatric medication by posting literally just your pill and you taking it. And it's the epitome of oversharing on social media and faux vulnerability, faux authenticity. And people were encouraging even like minors to do this and like post about their medical history online to a bunch of strangers, which is obviously a bad idea. And back to the subject of her vulgarity, Lola Young obviously in her lyrics, in the way she presents herself, emphasizes vulgarity and like embracing your sexuality, but doing so in the grossest way possible. It's less palatable when someone who looks like her does that, obviously. It's just a double standard, obviously, because Tate McRae and Sabrina Carpenter and countless other female artists do the same thing, and they just make it more palatable because they're conventionally attractive. I take issue with Sabrina Carpenter miming sexual acts on stage in front of her child audience. Like, that's obviously disgusting and inappropriate, but she gets a pass usually because she's attractive. Or Olivia Rodrigo passing out Plan B to her audience, which is also made up of majority teenage girls, lots of minors. Parents are taking their children to these concerts. Lola Young is kind of doing the same thing, and she's on a trajectory to get to that level of relevance because they're promoting her really hard right now. This is exactly what they want to promote. That's why I say she's an industry plant.
I'm picturing like artists in the 90s talking about, making their video like, here's my speedball. It helps me with my art. Like, I was just reading last night about all of, what's his name from Depeche Mode's overdoses, David Gahan. Or was that Gore? One of them overdosed many, many times in the 90s. And you read about stuff like that. They were talking about how in Los Angeles in the 90s, he was called the Cat by local paramedics because he would nearly die all the time. And I just think about how we've come so far. The pharmaceutical industry really won more than anything in this, because back then you got your drugs cut with a bunch of garbage from somebody on a street corner and you hope to God you didn't die. Now it's nice, clean, comes in clever packaging in their prescription bottle. You get your commercials for it, and pop artists talk about how you too should be on it.
I would like to show a before and after of Lola Young from before she was famous to current day. This is what she used to look like. Totally normal, beautiful girl. And then she just looks like the personification of a birth control pill.
It's literally, that's pretty good. It's literally what happens when feminism gets into a woman's brain.
Rotting you inside and out.
It literally rots you from the inside.
POV, the final boss at the methadone clinic.
She looks terrifying.
She looks horrendous.
Yeah.
That was awful, and that's I guess in the world of pop music, there has to be something awful in every subgenre. So makes sense.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
expect more of her.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
That's just a warning.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.